welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to share with you guys my idea of baby registry must-haves. If you guys are new to our channel, I have an older daughter named Makenzie. She's 3 years old, and I'm currently pregnant with baby number 2, a baby boy, due in June. Now, when I was pregnant with Makenzie, I was so excited about making my baby registry. I went to Babies R Us, RIP. I swear, I wish Babies R Us was still open. But I went to Babies R Us and was scanning everything. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna need this. And turns out half the stuff that I scanned, I didn't really need. And it was just like, why did I think I needed this? Like, you know, your first time parent and you think like, oh, this is gonna come in handy, this is gonna come in handy. But like when you're actually like in it and in parent mode, I feel like the first pregnancy, the first baby is like trial and error, so you learn as you go. And now that I'm pregnant with baby number 2, I can make another registry since it's a different gender and figure out like what do I really need and what do I really don't need, you know? Now that I've done with this, you know, baby registry for baby number 1, and then when I go to like friends' baby showers and look at their registry, I'm just like, they don't need this, they don't need that. So this is why I wanted to make a video like this for you pregnant moms out there who are pregnant with baby number 1 and you're kind of clueless and like, what do you really need on your baby registry? So here's my list. This is from my experience and what I really used from my baby registry and what was, you know, what worked out for me when Makenzie was a baby. Now, before I get into the list, please make sure you hit subscribe right here. Just hit it. Hit the bell right next to it so you can get notified whenever we drop a new video. We have a lot more content coming your way. So let's get into it. Now, my list is gonna be 10 things, but this is besides like the obvious things that you need on your baby registry. Some obvious things are a stroller and a car seat, diapers, wipes, a crib, a mattress, playpen, or a pack and play. So those are like obvious things that you do need on your baby registry, depending on your situation, depending on, you know, if your baby's gonna have a nursery or the baby's gonna sleep in your room and things like that. So those are some obvious things that you do need on your registry. My list is things like other things that I felt that were helpful. So let's get into that list. So number 1 thing that's on my list is baby wearing. I had a baby wearing wrap and I also had a baby wearing like carrier, and the brand that I had was, the wrap was Moby and the carrier was by Becco. When I was first researching baby wear, like I didn't know much about it. I just scanned any kind. Once I wore it, I think the one I got was like by Chico or something like that, and I did not like it at all. So there's like some guidelines that you want to look at into baby wearing. It's like a whole world out there for new parents. Just to let you know, baby wearing is like, it's a huge world out there. It's like all these Facebook groups and it's crazy. So I didn't know more about baby wearing until Makenzie was about, I want to say like 6 months old, because I started a new job and I met my coworker and she was all into baby wearing. She taught me so much. I was just like, wow, like I didn't know about this, because you want to make sure like the baby's legs are spread apart instead of hanging down. Some carriers, the baby's legs are down, but you don't want to do that because you want their hips to be open and stuff like that. So it's a lot of guidelines and things like that. But my personal favorite is definitely Becco Gemini, and those are kind of pricey, but they're definitely worth it. But my old coworker, she also told me there was a Becco Facebook group. I joined that Facebook group and it's like a sell, trade type baby carrying group. So people post their Beccos that they're selling and they're like previously loved, and which is kind of good, so they're not as stiff. So when you get it in the mail, since it's been used before, it's like broken into, it's nice and more and nice and comfy. And one thing I really like about the Becco Gemini is, of course, you know, you could wear it. I think they do have a newborn insert, but I didn't have the newborn insert since Makenzie was a little bit older. But I still have that carrier. Even my sister is using it right now, so you're gonna have to return that back. I hope you know that. I like that you can have the baby on your back, have the baby on your front. You can have the baby front waist too, and I think you can also have the baby on your side. So that is one baby wearing carrier that I absolutely love. It's easy to wash, throw it in the washing machine, easy to dry, and I definitely recommend that. Now if you want to try into the wrap thing, I had the Moby wrap, and I love that too. Sometimes it can be a little hot. When Makenzie was smaller, I definitely had her in the wrap, like when she was a newborn, and being in Florida, it was really hot, and I had a black one, so you know, only wore it sometimes, but it definitely keeps them really supported. You just gotta learn how to wrap it the right way. It comes with instructions. There's different ways you can wear the baby as well, but those two I really loved. But my absolute favorite is the Becco Gemini. And even when Makenzie got older, there's a Becco toddler, so that's a whole nother one. So the toddler one, you can actually wear their baby until they're like 50 pounds, I think 50 or 40 pounds, which is kind of ridiculous. I know you see those moms that carry their children until they're like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. I currently don't do that, no, but it came in handy when Makenzie was over 1 year old and we were like traveling to the airport or going out and she's tired and she doesn't want to be in a stroller, things like that. So it was a bigger carrier, and the one that I got was the Becco Cool toddler. So the cool one is like a mesh and it keeps her cool, so it's like not like thick fabric compared to like the other Becco. So those are my top ones. Number 2 is a swing. Now my favorite swing was the Mama Roo. There's 1,000 swings out there. There's so many, and it's kind of hard because like there's so many cool ones, but they're so expensive. Now the Mama Roo is definitely expensive, but if you see that someone is selling it online, as in like Facebook Market or OfferUp and things like that, make sure that it works. But my favorite is the Mama Roo. I do have an older version because it was passed down to me from my friend, and I still have it and it still works to this day. One thing I really love about it is that it has so many different settings, so it's not just like, you know, just regular back and forth. So like you can, you know, have it sitting up more or laying down more, and then there's music on there, so you can choose what sounds you want. There's a car sound like the shh, or like waterfall, things like that. So they have a lot of different sounds on there, whatever comforts your baby. And it also has different modes, such as like a tree swing, or they have like the car movement too, so it goes like in like a circle type thing. So there's a lot of different modes, and I really like that. You get to learn about your baby, see what your baby likes. Some babies don't like vibrations, you know, the vibrating seats like that. Like Kenzie always hated that. She hated the vibrating stuff. She liked things that swayed and that always put her to sleep. Definitely look into the Mama Roo. Number 3 is a nose Frida. Now I didn't know about this. This wasn't on my baby registry to begin with, but I learned about it when Makenzie was probably like 7-8 months old. Because that's when she got her like first cold, so like I never had to like really suck out her nose and stuff like that. And I looked into it and I was just like, this looks disgusting. Like, why I'm gonna suck out her boogers with my mouth? Yeah, it was like weird, and it was like hard for me and Darius to adjust. But like once we saw it and how it works, we were just like, oh wow, this is like so much easier. So if you guys don't already know, like a regular nose, I don't know what those called, nose bulb, the plunger that they give you at the hospital, or that comes in like the grooming kit, those aren't really good because one, the suction is not really good all the time, depending on what kind of cold they have to really get that mucus out, and 2, it's really dirty. So like if you think about it, of course, like if you like rinse it out afterwards, it still gets that, you know, it's still wet inside, so it gets moldy inside. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. I'm gonna have a picture here to show you guys on how nasty it is inside after a while that you're using it, and if, you know, it doesn't get properly cleaned inside the bulb. So if you cut it in half, like that's disgusting. So the nose Frida, like, you know, puts you at ease because you see what's going on, you can properly wash it, and plus the suction is way better because you're controlling it with your mouth. The nose Frida has a little sponge, so it doesn't directly go into your mouth, her boogers, so you don't have to worry about that. Of course, with any baby, well, it depends on the baby. I know Makenzie hated it. She hates it till this day. Like if she sees it, she runs away. But sometimes, you know, when they're a baby, you know, they don't know how to blow their nose, so you need something like that to get their boogers out so they can breathe properly. So definitely look into the nose feeder and add that to your registry list. Number 4 is a boppy or a boppy lounger. Now, I actually didn't have that on my registry, but my sister bought it for me for my baby shower when I was pregnant with Makenzie, and she got me the boppy lounger. I never really seen it before, but once I got it, like I used it like all the time when Makenzie was a newborn. So it's nice to, like, you know, lay her in there like while I'm doing the dishes or stuff like that. Of course, you don't want to put it on any counters or anything like that. It's just a nice little pillow for the baby to, like, you know, nap on and put the baby down instead of, you don't want to put the baby in the swing or something like that. So that's one thing that I really liked about the lounger. Now if you just get a regular boppy, of course you can do the same, and then you can use that for breastfeeding, and you can use that for tummy time too, because you can just have like the baby prop up like that on its chest. So there's a lot of different ways for that. So definitely look into the boppy because I think that's really worth it too. Number 5 are bibs and burp cloths. Now, I had a lot of hand-me-downs since I was having a girl, and my sisters had girls before too. So, you know, I had a lot of bibs and burp cloths. I'm like, geez, I'm not gonna use all this. Like, I really had a lot because people bought some at our baby showers, and then plus I had the hand-me-down. So I'm just like, this is like way too much, but I'm gonna just keep it anyway. And thank God I did, because I didn't realize how much spit up babies do, you know. I always had a bib on Makenzie because she would like spit up randomly, and you can easily wipe it, and then, you know, and once it gets wet, you know, you gotta toss it in the hamper and then put a new bib on. And the bib's gonna definitely come in handy when they start teething. Now, teething can happen between like 3-4 months that early, and they just start drooling and start sucking on everything, and that's when they get really soaked on their chest. So you definitely need a lot of bibs because they go through a lot of bibs. Once they start drooling, like, you can't control it, just keeps coming. And burp cloths, of course, you know, for spit up. When you're burping the baby and if they spit up, you want to have enough, because you don't want to keep using the same one if it's like soaking wet. It's disgusting. No, do it, throw it in the hamper, have a new one at hand, just so you don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, like I don't have anything to wipe the baby with. So always have a lot of backups. Number 6 is an activity mat. Now, there's so many activity mats out there. I don't have a specific favorite. Get one that like makes noise, that has lights, and that has like nice dangling things on it. So like an activity mat is just like, you know, that's good for tummy time, so they can learn how to pick their head up and things like that. So that's one thing I always put Makenzie on when she was fresh out. Put on the activity mat and play with her there, and then like flip her around so she could look at the lights, and then eventually they start grabbing the toys and things like that. So that's fun time for them, since they're like not into like bigger toys. Since, like, you know, when there's the newborn stage, it's kind of like, it's definitely time consuming, but it's kind of like, you know, are you bored? Because they just sit there and just stare at you and just like, what else should we do now, you know? So the activity mat gives you guys bonding experience, but plus have them looking at something, and then eventually they're going to start grabbing and learning and things like that. Number 7 is a car seat mirror. I know some people don't have car seat mirrors, but for me it came in handy just because, like, if I'm driving, especially as a first time parent, like I was scared to drive by myself in the car. I'm like, what if the baby's spitting up back there? Like, I don't know what's going on, I can't see. But that's why you need a car seat mirror. So a car seat mirror allows you to look in your mirror, and then it reflects to the car seat mirror, so you can see what the baby's doing, if the baby's okay, baby's sleeping, things like that. So you're not completely clueless, because, you know, it's hard when you're driving and you want to see what you can't fully see because you can't be looking off the road, so at least you can see in through the mirror. So definitely add a car seat mirror to your list. Number 8 is a monitor. Now, I didn't use Makenzie's monitor till she was actually sleeping in her nursery, and that was a while. She actually slept in our room for at least like 4 or 5 months. I still use that monitor till this day, and she's 3 years old, so it definitely comes in handy. You know, you want to keep an eye on them all the time if they're crying, so you can hear them. So definitely add a monitor to your list. Number 9 is a grooming kit. So I usually like the Safety First brand grooming kit, and you know, it just has, it's a whole little kit, and it comes with the nose plunger, but don't use that, get the nose freedom. And it has like the nail clipper, and that's what you really need out of that, because, you know, cutting babies' nails is like so scary in the beginning, but as they get older it gets easier. But I still use Mackenzie's nail clipper that she got from her baby shower. So the nail clipper definitely comes in handy. It comes with the soft brushes. That worked out for Makenzie for like a couple months until her curls started really coming in. But you know, it has a lot of little things in there, so definitely look into that because that's definitely a must-have on your list. And the last thing on the list is number 10 is a bathtub. Obviously, you gotta give the baby a bath eventually, so you want to have a bathtub that has like a nice insert in there, especially before when they're like tiny babies, or you know, just so you can easily like, give them a sponge bath. And then some bathtubs you could take out the insert, so like it's like a bigger tub so the baby can sit up and play. And so the one that we had with Makenzie is it had the insert, it had the tub, and also under it had a stool. So I'm still using that stool to this day. I definitely look into bathtubs that they can grow with and that actually has like, you know, things that you can still use. So I still use the stool, like she uses it to step on and brush her teeth and stuff like that, and I like that I'm using it to its full potential. Now that we're done with the baby registry must-haves on my list, one little thing that I wish I did before making my registry was to just think about the future. As like, you know, as a first-time parent, as a first-time pregnant mom, I was just like scanning everything, going crazy, especially once I found out I was having a girl and I really wanted a girl. I was just like, oh snap, pink everything, pink, purple, pink, purple, pink, purple. And now that I got all that pink and purple stuff, I can't use it for this time, you know. Now I'm having a boy, so it's just like I actually do need to add things to my registry now. And like I feel like a lot of people don't think like, oh, it's baby number 2, I'm sure they got everything. And we have like the majority of the stuff. We have the crib still. If that wasn't pink, we just got basic white, thank God. So and the crib that we got is like a 3-in-1, so it's a regular crib and it turns into a taller bed, and then it turns into a full-size bed, which is basically just the headboard that you keep, and then you get the mattress, so it could be a full-size bed. So that kind of crib is definitely necessary in your life. And then we also have the rocking chair still, so that's good. And we bought a new dresser just because I want a different theme for the room. If you're having your first baby and it's a girl, I feel like the big things should be gender neutral, just so you don't have to, you know, spend more money when you're pregnant with baby number 2 and it's the opposite gender, you know. So I feel like it's really like that if you're having a girl first, because if you're having a boy first, like a lot of boy things can be for girl things, like especially when it comes to like strollers and, you know, cribs and things like that. Just don't go all pink and purple out when you're having a girl first. So that brings me into my mini list on what's my baby registry must-haves for baby number 2. This is just what I definitely need this time around since I'm pregnant with a baby boy. And I realized, I'm like, we don't even have that anymore because it's pink. So we actually have to get a new one. Number 1 thing that's on my baby registry right now for baby number 2, baby boy, is a new stroller and a new car seat, which is kind of pricey. But the one that I have on my registry list is definitely going to come in handy if we do have future kids. So the one that I have on my registry is by Graco. It's called Uno to Duo. And the cool thing about it, obviously I put a gender neutral color because no more pink. It has to be gender neutral. So the color I added on my list was like an olive green and black and gray. Really love it. And you know, it comes with the car seat. And the thing I love about it is that you can put it like, I think it's about like 18 different ways, and it's for the baby plus Makenzie. So like you can have the baby in the car seat, plus it has like the extendable thing in the back that Makenzie can stand on, or you can buy a second seat to put under and Makenzie can sit under there. Now that second seat is separate, so I think that was about $100 more. So you have to buy that separately. But the stroller itself plus the car seat, it's on sale now at Target for I believe like $350. I think the original price is usually $500. It's a lot of money. But to think about it, like it's gonna come in handy for if we have a baby number 3, because then our baby now will be able to stand up and the new baby can be in the car seat. So just as long as we keep it up, don't get it dirty, don't mess it up or anything like that. I mean, it should be, you know, Graco is a pretty good company, so I'm sure it's not gonna break or anything like that. It's definitely gonna be worth it just because it's gonna last for a really, really, really long time. Number 2 that's on my baby registry right now is a new monitor. Although I still use Mackenzie's monitor for her now, I do want a monitor that has 2 cameras. And I'm not too sure if my monitor now can, like, you can purchase another camera, because I need to see, you know, the baby when he's in his nursery eventually. And then plus I still want to see Makenzie just in case. I want a screen that has like a split screen. So I know sometimes you can only see one baby at a time, but I'm trying to look into one that has like a split screen so I can see both of them at the same time. So I'm still doing research on that. The one that I added on my registry is by Summer, because that's the brand that I have now, but it's sold out right now. So I need to look for a backup one. Number 3 on my list is a halo bassinet. Now I originally did want this for Makenzie, but I was just like, this is way too expensive, I don't want it. And now look at me now, I have it on my list and it's a must-have for me. Only because, so like when Makenzie, when she was a baby, we just had her sleep in the pack and play. You know, the pack and play has the top version, so like, you know, when they're smaller, they can just sleep in there. But, you know, pack and plays are pretty big, and with our room, I want the baby right next to me, so it's easy for me and to get off and on the bed. Our bed right now is really high, so I don't know how I'm gonna be like after birth and stuff like that, just so it's like easier for me to like see the baby. So the halo bassinet is gonna stay like right next to my bed, and it swivels, so I can like swivel the baby closer to me, swivel the baby back. The one that I have on my list, I think it's like the deluxe one, and it plays music, it vibrates, things like that. So that's something that I really need during this time, just so it can be convenient during like nighttime feedings and things like that. And the last thing on my list is a high chair. So I need a new high chair. Mackenzie's high chair is long gone, and this high chair that I found is by Graco as well. It seems like Graco is making a lot of things like, you know, like 2-in-1, you know, 18-in-1 type thing. So like I said about the stroller, I think it does like 18 different ways. Now this high chair is 7-in-1, which is really cool. So like I love things that like you can use as the baby grows up. I think it's so convenient, and it's definitely worth the money because you're getting so much out of it. So the high chair that I added on the list, it can be a regular high chair, it can be so many different ways. I can't even think right now, but I'm gonna put a picture up right here so you can see all the different ways. I know eventually it turns into just like a regular chair and plus a regular table, so like the kids can like eat on their table. That is definitely on my list. I hope you guys look into it because it's really cool. So those are definitely things that you should add on your registry list, even if you're having baby number 1, you know. So since there is no more Babies R Us, my baby registry I did on Target. Now I was gonna do an Amazon one, but once I started like getting into Amazon, it's just too much. It was just like more stressful, just because like it's not just like certain brands, it's just like so many. It's like Amazon gives you too many options, and that kind of like stresses me out. And I don't know about you guys, but if you guys want to do Amazon, go ahead, do Amazon. With me, I'm always at Target either way, so it's easy for me to like return or exchange things if I get anything, you know, from the baby shower that I already have or things like that. This is why I chose Target. Plus Target gives you a 15% off coupon of like a registry completion coupon type thing. So my baby shower is going to be next week, and let's say, you know, I didn't get all the things on my list, so that's why I have that coupon that I can get the rest, and I get 15% off of the original price, which is pretty cool. Another tip about making your baby registry, I would suggest just to make one baby registry. I know some people make 2 at like 2 different stores, but I think it's so much easier just to make one registry. And plus, to be honest, like I feel like a lot of guests wouldn't look at both registries, because either way it's gonna have like similar things. Like, you know, you're not gonna choose like 2 different strollers because that's just ridiculous. You're not going to choose like two different cribs because you don't need 2 cribs, you know, things like that. So I know with Makenzie, I made a Babies R Us registry and a Bye Bye Baby registry, and no one bought anything from the Bye Bye Baby registry. And I feel like the reason why is because There's not a lot of bye-bye babies around. You know, they're very limited in like bigger cities. So like here in Virginia, they don't have a bye-bye baby here. So it makes sense for, you know, my friends to look at my Babies R Us registry so they can just, you know, buy it in person. Definitely just, I think, make one baby registry and just check mark all your things. And if there is something that you see that they don't sell there, like for example, I couldn't find a diaper bag on Target that I really liked, so I found one on Amazon. So you can get like a close family member just to send them that link if they wanted to, you know, like, oh, what do you need? And you can be like, oh, actually I need this from this website, this is what I really like, and then they can directly just buy it from there instead of just like making a whole list, a whole Amazon list for just one thing, you know what I'm saying? So I hope this video was very helpful for you. This is completely from my experiences. So if you need anything extra, girl, go ahead and add it to your list. Some things that are like ridiculous is like a wipe warmer. And to be honest, why do you need your baby's wipes to be warm when you could just rub it on your hands and it's warm for free instead of buying a whole warmer? With the baby industry, they really make all these different things that brainwash moms thinking like, oh my gosh, I need this, although you really don't. So that's why I just wanted to make this video so you guys can have an easy checklist on what to add on your registry. If you guys find this video helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.